Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Today we've got something exciting to talk to you about, which is that last night was our 250th night we spent in Henry. Quite amazing, really. We've had him for 603 nights, and we've spent 250 nights in him, which is more than 40% of the time that we've had him. It's quite impressive, that, actually, isn't it?
We've got our money's worth so
far. Yeah, definitely. And we just wanted to go through with you a few bits that we've really enjoyed about him, and a few bits that, if we could, we'd probably change them. And Roger's going to start us off talking about Android Auto.
My biggest bugbear is with Android Auto, for some reason, you have to plug it in. So you've got to plug your phone in to a USB socket, which I don't understand at all. It has two problems as far as I'm concerned. One is, aesthetically, it's not very pleasing having a wire just dangling around. But the second thing is, it doesn't charge my phone. So when I'm actually using Android Auto for my maps, which we use all the time,
We do.
my phone doesn't get charged. So I find that really annoying, and I really don't understand it in the fact that we can actually have our phones Bluetoothed into the system anyway.
Yeah.
So if we're watching something on my laptop or we're listening to music, we Bluetooth it in. It doesn't need the wire. Why it needs the wire for Android Auto, I have no idea. So that's probably my biggest bugbear.
Oh, and we couldn't work out how to start the Android Auto, could we?
No.
At the beginning, how to actually get it to work. And then when we did, we thought, what, with a wire, really?
Yeah, it's very peculiar.
It is.
Another thing that the automatic gearbox is brilliant. It's a 9-speed automatic gearbox, and as you're driving along, it is so good you can't tell when it changes gear or anything like that.
It's very intuitive, isn't it?
It's very good. However, again, a problem that I have, I don't know whether it's just me, I don't know, Jill's I think's had it when she drives it as well, is when you're starting off, it does jerk a bit, which isn't a major problem, but the problem is then when you actually get to, I don't know, on the Channel Tunnel, or you're trying to go up on chocks, or you go onto a ferry and you're trying to inch forward, it doesn't work that well,
No.
and I really struggle to inch forward.
So I'm there saying, come on, and Roger's saying, I'm trying.
So, yeah, love the auto box, but I would find that is a real problem, or I do find that as a real problem anyway.
Another well, not really a problem, another annoyance that we have is this table. It's great, it goes up and down very easily, but it actually catches all the time on this cushion. And Roger can show you that here.
So
you
try
see,
to put the cushion...
This is really annoying, and it's actually got a mark on the cushion where it constantly catches on there. Which is just really annoying. It's just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And this is as far in as it'll go. And we just think if they just made this 1 centimetre shorter, it wouldn't have been a problem, would it?
It's slightly easier when there's nobody sitting on there.
Yes, when I'm not weighing with my great weight weighing down the cushion.
But it still catches on there the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't understand that.
No, I don't understand it either. But some of the good things we did
I was
want to
going to
talk
say,
about.
so that's three things. Which sounds like we hate Henry.
Oh,
but
no,
we
not at
love
all.
him.
No, I mean, it's just, he's amazing.
They are the three things, I think, at the moment that
Yeah.
we can think of that we don't like about him.
Yeah.
So on to the positives.
The thing that we really like is the amount of storage in Henry. There is lots of little shelves. I mean, this shelf up here, fantastic for putting all the bits that don't fit in any other storage places. And surprisingly, this little cellar, we call it the cellar, it's just a little storage space underneath the floor. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm just going to move the camera a little tiny bit to try and so that you can see what's going on here. I'm going to have to turn it around actually.
No, that's fine. Just tilt it down.
It's basically this little hole in the floor here. You can get about 24 cans of food in there. Now, I'm not saying eat cans of food all the time, but you know what I mean. It's actually a very useful storage area and surprisingly spacious, I would say.
It is, yes.
If you've got an expert packer like Roger is, it's really, really helpful. And that, yeah. So we like that little celery storage space underneath there. That's very useful. And all the other cupboards and things, they are surprisingly capacious, really, I would say.
They are. So basically up here, when we, in the summer months, we've had our external gas cooker up there. We have backpacks up there,
Beach
shoes.
mats, beach umbrella.
Yeah, a whole load of bits and pieces up there, and it's really good. I do like the thought that in the latest Hymer you can actually have a glass screen here rather than this cupboard.
So you have a glass roof, basically.
Yes, but I think if we were to ever replace Henry, which we may well do, but I would still stick with this.
Yeah, it's so useful.
Just because it's really good.
Yeah, it is incredibly useful.
But again, the fridge, the fact that you can open it from inside or you can open it from outside is brilliant.
I mean, the shelves in the fridge are a bit narrow, aren't they? But you just have to learn to adapt what you're going to put in there, really, and it's fine.
Yes.
And actually, I mean, we've been camping in Henry for 250 nights, and we are still only on our second canister of gas.
Yeah.
Which is quite amazing, actually.
It is. They are large canisters, admittedly.
They're 6 kilos. Are they 6 kilos?
I think so, yes. Yeah. The fact that we don't normally cook lunch, but we cook basically dinner virtually every night. We don't eat out that much, do we?
No.
Because of your allergies.
My weirdness, as Roger likes to call it.
Indeed.
And I might have a cup of tea in the morning.
Yes.
Occasionally we have porridge for breakfast, don't we? But that's about it.
But yeah, it's quite impressive, 250 nights for that. And I think we paid £35 for the last gas refill.
Can't argue with that, can we really?
No, not at all.
And the other thing we were going to talk about was the heating. So we've been very lucky with the weather when we've been away, both in Norway and Scotland, in the fact that it hasn't actually been that cold.
No.
But every time I go for a run, Roger puts the hot water on so I can have a nice warm shower when I come back.
If we're
wild camping.
Yep.
And it's also the same, if we do want heating on, we have to use the diesel. And actually, the diesel heater is very effective, but it is quite noisy, isn't it?
It is a bit noisy. If you're plugged in, as we are at the moment, we're currently just outside London at Abbey Wood, but if you're plugged in, we've got the heating on at the moment, you can't hear it at all, and there's very warm air coming out of the ducts, which is great.
Perfect. Now, this tiny little bathroom, it is very, very cosy in there, but actually it is surprisingly effective when you're having a shower. You lift up the wooden corky bit at the bottom there, pull the curtain across, and it is surprisingly effective. I've felt very clean after my showers, let's put it that way.
So the curtain, bizarrely enough, actually pulls across at the back of the bathroom, so it not one of those ones that you're actually going to cling to.
No.
So that's not a problem at all.
No, and then you just take these things out, anything that's going to get wet, basically. So we normally take out the loo roll and the tea towels and things, and then that covers up the mirror at the back there in the sink. And the other thing we were going to show you, which is really quite groovy, is this sink is something that basically you can pull out to clean, which is amazing. So it does mean it's very difficult to get in there otherwise. So it does mean it's much, much easier to get in there to clean things, which is fantastic. It just makes life so much easier.
When we first got our campervan, we had comments about the fact that would break very quickly. Again, 250 days later, we've not got a problem with it.
No,
apart from Jill can't get it back now.
I can't get it back in there, obviously.
So one of the things when we were looking at the campervans was that we wanted a fixed bed. We might be quite lazy, but we didn't really want to have to make a bed every night. So that's why we chose what we have done. And again, the bed, everyone was saying, well, surely you can't sleep across it. Yes, we can. It's not the easiest bed to get into. We will show you that. Jill's a lot better at getting in than I am.
I'm going to take my slippers off before I get in.
Yep, so am I. Jill's a lot better at getting in than I am.
Very easy indeed. And this bed is so comfy, it's lovely.
We do have a duvet topper, which we've never tried it without a duvet topper,
no, we
so we don't know what it's like.
No, but it is very nice and
but
comfy.
It is actually very good. And I'm 6 foot tall. And I can get in as well. And basically, I don't touch either the top or the bottom. I can still wiggle my feet around. So, yeah, there's not huge amounts of room between us, but
just means we have to get cosy at night, that's all.
It does. And no, it's been very good, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. And these cupboards up here are also part of the storage thing I was saying. So this is where all of our clothes are, in these two cupboards here. And that makes a huge difference because it just means everything's together.
And what we do use is we actually use these packing cubes, which are quite good. So we each have 3 packing cubes, one each for underwear, one each for t-shirts, and one each for jumpers, fleeces, trousers, etc., etc. And it works really well.
It does indeed. So we've been in Hymer for 250 nights. We've done 24,356 miles.
Yep.
And it's 32.5 miles a gallon. So we can't really argue
No,
with that.
I don't think that's too bad at all.
Not at all. I think the average speed was only about 27 miles an hour, something like that.
Yeah, we've not exactly been fast.
No.
But some of the other bits and pieces that we think are great are the door pockets.
The door bins are really, really spacious. That's really great. It's extra storage again, isn't it, really?
Yeah, yes. They're great. And also, what is amazing is in this bit here, you actually have a space you can put a water bottle. Not only do you have a space to put a water bottle, but that water bottle is actually chilled as you're driving along. So it's actually using the air conditioning to chill the water bottles, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty groovy. Pretty groovy, I have to say.
One thing that we have had is a couple of fuses go. And basically they were just fuses for the USB ports. Not sure why they went. So we bought...
And one of them's gone 2 or 3 times, hasn't it?
Yes. So we actually bought a pack of 10 fuses from Screwfix, was it, or something like that?
Something like that, for £1 and 9p.
Yeah.
Bargain.
Can't really complain about that.
No.
And basically the fuses are just kept under there, so it's just a very easy way of changing the fuses. The chairs, we thought, really good idea. They actually fit behind here, and you buckle them up, it's great. That's great if you're actually in a campsite and you're just moving once every week or whatever it might be. But if you're moving every day, that we have been for the last, well, all of this year,
Yep.
it's a bit of a pain, because we always like to turn the gas off before we move anywhere. It's a bit of a pain having to move the chairs to get to the gas bottles to turn them off. So what we've done is just move them slightly, and we've put them there. The table's still there, so that's great. But it does mean that it's a lot easier with the chairs being there. One of the options that we had on Henry was an external gas point. And we haven't actually used that at all this year, I don't think. But last year, when we were in the south of France and when the weather's nice, it's really good. We eat most of our meals outside, and I have to confess, Jill cooks most of our meals outside as well. And it's really helpful having that there. It means we can use our gas rather than having to have an additional gas canister with the gas stove. So it's really handy.
It's just nice in hot weather, isn't it? To
It
be
is.
able to just be outside all the time, it's perfect.
Yep. And again, with the awning, we've used the awning a lot when we were in the south of France,
Yep.
and when we were in Netherlands as well. We used the awning a lot just because it was so hot there. So again, that's another good option that we had.
Definitely.
So to round up, what do we think of Henry?
Well, I know we did start off with 2 or 3 negatives, but actually we love him. We think he's absolutely fantastic. He does exactly what we wanted him to do.
Size-wise, it's a perfect size for us. We can go to car parks and we can actually fit in a parking spot.
Yep.
Generally, we try and find car parks that have a bit of a curb or something that we can reverse over and get the rear wheels on that curb. And that means we don't stick out the front and we don't stick out the sides. So
Yep.
it makes it so easy. Where we live in Cornwall, we didn't want a big camper van.
No, and actually when we've been in lots of places in Scotland as well as in Norway earlier on in the year, it does say over 6 metres you can't go there, like
Yes.
on the ferries and things, wasn't it?
Indeed.
As we're going to Hoy, we couldn't have gone there if we were over 6 metres, so we don't really need a bigger van.
No, we don't.
It's perfect size for us, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're absolutely thrilled with him. He's everything we wanted him to be.
he is.
He's got the fixed bed, which is great.
And as far as fit and finish is concerned, yes, I've mentioned about the fact that one of these has actually gone on a couple of occasions, and other than that, we've not actually had any problems at all, have we?
No, we've been really pleased with it. It's a very good quality van, I
It
would
is.
say.
Yes.
We hear nightmare stories about other people complaining that this is broken and that's broken, but
Yeah.
we haven't really had anything
Things
like
have
that,
fallen
have we?
off and other bits and pieces, but
No.
no. So would you buy another Henry?
Definitely.
Yep. One of the things we did say about the colour is when we actually bought Henry, we originally ordered a bright red one.
We did, because we liked the idea of a red van. We thought that would be great.
Yep.
Be like Postman Pat.
Indeed. We ended up with an Amazon grey. Not sure that's quite what Hymer call it, but it is Amazon grey. And in retrospect, it's actually quite a good colour, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it certainly means that he's quite discreet, isn't he, when
He
he's
is.
parked up somewhere? He's not bright white or anything like that, and he's quite nicely camouflaged into the trees and the bushes if he's in there, isn't he?
Yeah. So if we're wild parking somewhere,
Yeah.
it's a good colour.
It is, yeah.
So overall, what would we change with the van? A couple of bits and pieces, but
But they're very minor things.
they
as
are
well,
very
aren't
minor
they?
things. And 250 nights, 40% of our time that we've actually had him, and he's been great.
He has. We absolutely love him.
Yep, highly recommend Hymer Ayers Rock if anyone's
Definitely.
looking for a new camper van.
Definitely.